going on? How you guys been? Good?
How big is this week for you guys, both the practice and the game, to just finally be able to see live your group specifically?
We were talking about that today with the specialists. It'll be nice for us to be able to compete against a different team rather than just going against each other in practice. So excited for the opportunity to go down there to Carolina and compete. Honestly, that's been like the theme of this whole camp is compete.
In the offseason, we talked about ramping up the intensity and the urgency, and then we see live tackling for the first time, I think, under Kevin. So have you seen what you wanted to see in that aspect during the first, week plus of camp?
Yeah, and I think, Coach has delivered a clear and concise message to our team that we need to play harder, we need to practice harder, we need to do things like we're going to do in the game. And I think that being able to go live and control that period on how we're tackling, you're not seeing a lot of low tackles in that period. Obviously, we're staying away from the quarterback, taking care of each other, and still playing at a high speed and getting guys on the ground. So it's been good.
How much easier, maybe easier is a bad word, with the kick returns this year instead of last year or first year and it being all new in terms of practicing?
Yeah, last year we were just trying to figure out the play, and I would say everybody in the league has a much better grasp on everything that goes into that play. And obviously they made the adjustment to have the touchback to the 35, so that's obviously going to impact the play, and you're going to see a lot more return balls.
What's your guys' process for evaluating the kicker positions this year? How does it perform last year?
Yeah, I mean, in any position, especially that position, you want consistency. Consistency with the results. So I think that's going to be a big part of the evaluation here in the next few weeks.
Do you guys have like a consultant that you evaluate with, or is it just in-house?
No, it's just whoever's here.
Bubba,
yeah.
Special teams coach for the first two preseason games like the Super Bowl.
in terms of
just, you get out there and you're putting guys in low speed situations.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the preseason it's challenging because there's so many substitutions that occur. Some guys are on if they're playing offense and defense, they may play like 10 to 15 snaps. So then you got to manage when that guy is going to be able to factor for you. He may play only the first quarter on some units, so there's a lot of guys coming in and out. So we always hit on that hard and harp on that to everyone be locked in to what's going on in the game, the situation in the game, and then the players, the coaches need to have good communication with me and Kyle so we can always have the right guys on the field executing, at the best of their ability. So.
Would you feels like, and it sounds like Corey's been just a booming punts throughout the mini camp.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him, and what are you expecting for his year this year?
Yeah, he's been really good. He's been very consistent. His directional looks better than it has in the past, I would say. He's obviously got a very explosive and powerful leg. I think being able to match the hang times to the distances is important and eliminate the miss-hit balls and also the balls where we're hitting it too far with not enough hang. So I think that's been a focus for him that he's done a really good job of in this early part of camp.
Would you say this has been a normal rep camp for Dustin so far? I don't remember, Kevin said there was one, but I don't remember a lot of team kicking periods. I know I've seen him kick by himself, but has this been a normal camp for him?
Yeah, I think so. We've probably done a little bit more team stuff. We're going to hit another team field goal period today with both guys, but I kind of wanted to just get him a little bit more involved in the team setting. So I think that ultimately will help.
Do you consider him somebody in a competition right now?
Everybody's in competition. That's why we have all these numbers at every single position. So I think everybody says this, but competition ultimately brings out the best in everybody. It really does. So when you're being pushed, you're probably going to perform at a higher level.
Bubba, how's that punt return valve shaping up?
Say that again.
How's the punt return valve shaping up?
Good. I would say we have more ball handlers this year than we've had in the last 2 years. We've got some young guys that we're going to look at this upcoming week. Luke will get some time back there. Caden Davis will get some time back there. So excited about the group we're working with.
And then basically between those two guys, we see them returning, fielding punts all the time. It's basically between those two guys.
Well, you got DC too. I mean, DC's the main guy. So those young guys, we want to see what they can do, and they're going to both play in the game and get reps.
How good what's it working with your team?
Yeah.
What stood out about him working with you guys?
He's got a good little skill set. He's a little bit shorter than me, so I don't know if that's to his advantage, but he's tough. He's definitely got a really good short area quickness. He's got a pretty good feel for the techniques that we're trying to do. He's a tough kid, so excited to see him play in the practice today, and then obviously in the game.
In terms of kick returns, you think we'll see more of the bounce kicks this year in the landing area because that's when the point of engagement can begin more?
Unfortunately, yeah, I do. I wanted to push the ball being short of the landing zone to the 50 or the 45, and it's going to stay at the 40 for now at least. I think that there's a chance that the play could get messy. I'm hoping that that's not the case, but I think that if the touchback goes to the 35, talked about this in the spring, if the touchback goes to the 35-yard line and the ball goes out of bounds, right, the ball goes to the 40. So you're only losing 5 yards there. So is it advantageous to put the ball on the ground and have a potentially a better coverage play? Yeah. But it could go either way. I'm hoping that it doesn't go that way.
But what are you seeing out of Carson Schlesinger? And it looked like we were watching that one drill last week, kind of in front of the end zone.
Yeah.
It looked like he had a couple really good reps.
Yeah.
What's been your overall opinion?
He's a super smart kid. I mean, when I evaluated him, I was like, the first thing that pops off the tape is he's so instinctive, and he just finds his way and has a knack to get to the ball. Really good at shedding blocks. He reads it out fast. He triggers faster than most. Love the kid. He's tough. He's got good size and length, so that shows up a lot. And he's fast. I mean, he covers ground. Very into everything that we're doing and open to do everything. So,
were you able to kind of, I don't know how much you watched the Hall of Fame game and just
yeah, I watched the whole thing.
How much just kind of knee-jerk reactions were you able to kind of get, initial reaction takeaways were you able to get from the adjusted kickoff rule, watching it there, and how those two teams did it? Obviously, you're going to get more data, but just the data point you had there.
Yeah, there wasn't much. I would say relative to the play in general, there wasn't a ton of difference from what we saw last year with the play. You're always using those early games in camp to be able to show your players and use those as examples on good technique, bad technique. Okay, this is a good run, this is a good play. You saw the muff by one of the returners. Like, we obviously don't want to do that. Things like that to be able to correct. So I think that there's a lot of things you can take from, especially the early games in training camp where you have where there's a lot of young players on the field. So
it was Anthony Kendall, a guy that you'd always kept an eye on as a potential key special teams contributor.
Yeah,
early in the league.
he had a productive rookie season in Tennessee. Obviously, Vrabes was here last year. Vrabes liked him enough to keep him on that roster. He got nicked up last year. So yeah, he's been a factor at the gunner position. He's fast. He's got some toughness. So yeah, he was a guy that we looked at whenever he was coming out of college. So thank you, appreciate it.